Hey YouTube, I'm making this video so that if you're out there and have a 2012, 2011, probably 2013, 2014 Roush Mustang and want to go with the Afco heat exchanger. I know there's some videos out there, but most of them are for the GT500s. I'm making this video so that anybody that's out there can go ahead and see the steps taken. I'm going to be doing this my first time, so I haven't pre-done this, so there's going to be lots of mistakes done probably. So anyway, hope you enjoy and hope this helps you out. Alright, the first step that I did was I went ahead and unhooked the negative end of the battery, and then went ahead and got the front end up on jack stands. Next step is going to be removing this top radiator cover. It's fairly easy, just do these pins right here and it should pop right out. Alright, the next step was to remove bolt here and a bolt over here, and then I'll be removing these two bolts here and here, so right there and right there, and then I'll head underneath the car and take out some bolts underneath as well. I'll try and show you that as well. Alright, I got the tray out, and then as you can see, I went ahead and broke loose this on this side here. As you can see, there's like 3 little tabs. Just kind of presses in there, so you just got to kind of gently kind of pull on those and they'll pop right out. So all I have to do now, got to lift from the bottom, and then this right here, just lift it up and over, and the whole front should come out. I've already disconnected the turn signal and fog lights from underneath, and so alright, I'll go ahead and get this front taken care of, get it out of the way. One other thing is, you won't have to do this on yours, but I had the Escort radar detector installed, so I had to remove the bottom one there, and then I'm going to have to be very careful on the top 2 sensors. I might have to remove those, hopefully not, but if I do, I'll show you that. Alright, I got that off, not too bad. I did end up having to take off the little sensors for the front. Just Allen screw here and here, and it kind of releases these. Gives you a little extra room, and then there you were able to slide right out. So, okay. So now all we have to do is get this off. There's some plastic pins. We'll just pop those out, and that should come out. And then on to the next step. Okay, took out the 4 pins. If you can see them right there. I have a interior tool trim panel removal kit, and slid it right underneath that little tab, and it popped right out. So not too bad on that. I guess we'll go ahead and unhook stuff and get the water drained, and then get this unbolted, and we'll get her out. Alright, this is a little different than what I've seen online. Before there was well, this pump was behind the heat exchanger there, and that doesn't seem to be the case in these. I think the installation will still be the same. I'll probably just have to move this pump onto the new Afco, and it move it that way. So no big deal. So yeah, we probably have to replace. I was thinking that we wouldn't have to replace this hose, but looks like we will. So yeah, interesting stuff. So anyway, I'll be removing these. Be removing this bracket in the back here, and then removing the removing this, which apparently I missed a bolt when installing the radiator. That's good to know. Anyway, check back in a little bit. All right, I got the pump out with the bracket. Again, that's a little different than most of the videos I've seen online. So be transferring this pump over to the Afco radiator or heat exchanger. So and then still have to get the heat exchanger out. Looks like it's just about 4 bolts and should drop right out. So I'll get that done. Alrighty, got it out. Leaking all over the place. Just make this quick. But yeah, it came out pretty quick, pretty easy. So looks like route some new tubes and get the new heat exchanger installed. I figured I'd give another update. I took the reservoir tank out and just unscrewed it. Unhooked the hose coming out the bottom of that. They have a new hose that I'll need to attach and then run through that little hole down there, and obviously save that abrasion guard, put that on the new hose. So yeah, coming along. Alright, I got the new hose on, put the tank back in, and routed the hose through the hole and got it ready to rock. So I think the next step is to get the new heat exchanger put in. I've already prepped it a little bit, put the rubber grommets with the sleeves in there, and I've also got the bolts already started in the bumper, so should be able to just slide it right in. I know online they had trimming some of these plastic pieces, things like that. Hopefully we don't have to do that. So we'll see what we do. Alright, it does look like I'm running into some interference here, so I think I'm going to have to cut around this and then maybe trim up here too. Seems to be not sitting flush, so I might have to just maybe make a cut and cut out. Yeah, just maybe cut all that out and see what happens. So we'll give that a whirl and see what happens. Alright, I got the passenger side trimmed up. It's looking pretty good. I just ended up chopping it off at that one section and then kind of notching it around the new heat exchanger. I tried to keep that one piece on there, but honestly it was just a tiny little bit and I didn't really see any need to it, so just kind of lopped it off that area at the end. So anyway, I'm going to work on the driver's side and see what we can get done. I already got the driver's side clearanced as well. It's kind of a hack job. Kind of did the best I could with some tin snips. I don't know if you had like, I don't know, maybe a good pair of scissors or something like that. Maybe do a little bit better job than I did. But it's kind of floppy down here, so I think I might attach a zip tie to that leftover bracket back there, to this bracket here. Get that shored up a little bit. It's not the greatest, but maybe drill a hole in it and attach it to that bracket, and we should be good to go. It's pretty tight fit up here for that hose. It's kind of pinching it a little bit, so I really don't want to, but I might have to clearance that out a little bit so that it makes it a little bit easier turn into this bay, because it seems to be kind of holding up a little bit. So we'll see what we can do. Alright, I went ahead and took this out. It was just 2 push pins right here and here. I cleaned up my cuts with just some scissors, so that looks a lot better. And then I went ahead and clearanced this out right here to kind of give that hose an easy way to bend around rather than coming straight out and then have to bend and kinking right here. So it's able to slow, make a gradual bend there versus the tight bend. So anyway, I'll get this put back on, get the hose routed back, and then put as you can see, I had to take out the heat exchanger again, so it wasn't too bad. So I just took that out real quick, and I'll get all this put back in, and we'll pick it up from there. Okay, apparently there is a right way and a wrong way to install these blue rubber grommets. I installed them like this, with this facing out towards the front of the car and the other half facing towards the rear of the car. When I did that, started tightening the nylon locks, it just started pushing in, and then this popped out. So it really wasn't staying together. So apparently you need to put the smaller end towards the front of the car and the part with the washer towards the back, which makes sense. I see it now as I explain it. I see it, but at the time when I installed it, I just figured, what the heck. So that's a little tip for you. So don't make the same mistake I did. All right, we got all 4 bolts installed properly this time. I got that clearanced out. Let's see, what else? Install the pump, and then just start hooking up the hoses, and then on to electrical. So by the way, these bottom bolts nuts were a pain in the butt. I recommend getting some of those wrenches that act as socket wrenches or whatever. Those would help a lot, and maybe ones that angled out a little bit. Get those done first, and then move on to the top ones. There's not much room in there, and I got big old fat hands, so it was a bit of a chore. But I was able to get it done. I got it done with some socket sets, but it was definitely tight. Had to really mash it in there. So anyway, on to the pump and routing some tubes. Okay, so I got the pump on, got the hose on coming from the tank. Just need to hook up this hose, maybe trim it a little bit, put that on. Got the lower hose on, and then it looks like I'll be on to wiring. So yeah.